You almost seem speechless.
Hello and welcome to Investigate TV. I'm Lee Zurich.
Watch Investigate TV.
Have a happy holiday.
And a wonderful New Year.
From News 12 NBC 26.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Record-setting low temperatures over the weekend causing pipes to freeze and burst all across the two-state. We're on your side with what to do next, straight ahead. And because of that frigid weather, Governor Kemp is extending Georgia's state of emergency as crews across the state are working to get power and water systems restored. Those temperatures are expected to dip below freezing again tonight, which isn't great news for those of you trying to thaw pipes out. But the state of emergency was supposed to end at midnight tonight. Instead, it'll extend just before midnight on Wednesday. If you live in Wadley, Jefferson County EMA, they're asking you to boil your water until further notice. It's due to extreme stress on the water system from the cold temperatures, water leaks from pipe breaks, dripping faucets, all of that leading to an unexpected amount of water usage. Officials are asking you to boil that water before you use it for pretty much anything, including giving it to your pets. I want to show you a look. This is a homeowner's current winter mess. You can see those pipes frozen. A lot of you probably looking at something similar today from that Arctic blast that hit our area. Another viewer sent us this photo. This is the plumbing aisle at a Lowe's on Peach Orchard Road. He told us it was chaos during both of his trips to the store there. About an hour ago, we went to see what it was like for ourselves. You can see pretty wild still. A lot of people looking at pipes, probably planning to make 2 or 3 trips because, let's be honest, most of us don't know what we are doing. But our Taylor Martin is live now in the newsroom. And Taylor, you spoke to a plumber today. We know they had to be crazy busy. What are they saying people should do if their pipes burst or if they freeze?
If your pipes burst during the hard freeze, you may be wondering what you should do now. And if they haven't, you're probably doing everything you can to make sure they don't. Broken, frozen, and leaking pipes have left many people without water for days. Virginia Moore has been living in Augusta for 6 months now. She says she and her family have been without hot water since Christmas Eve.
We haven't been able to take a bath. So I mean, like I said, I have a 14-year-old that has medical conditions that, has to take a bath.
Danny Friedman has been with Garden City Plumbers for 40 years and says he's never seen anything like this. He tells me there's one thing you need to do immediately before you call a plumber if your pipes have burst.
If it's a hot or a cold pipe, it makes a difference, because if it's a hot pipe, you could shut your water off with the hot water heater, and then you'd have cold water in your house the rest of the time.
Danny says if you have damage to a cold pipe, you'll be out of water and will have to call a plumber. And if your pipes haven't burst, you still have time to make sure they don't.
Suggestion is, once nighttime comes around, is to leave the water not dripping, but a very slight small stream. And if you can get close to where your hose bibs are, say a faucet close to there, that's the one you want to keep open.
Danny tells me there are also styrofoam heat boxes you can buy and attach to your faucet to keep out the cold. He also says letting a small stream of water run all night when temperatures drop may sound like a hit to your wallet, but that solution will be much cheaper than a plumbing repair.
Okay, good advice, Taylor. Thank you. All of us in the South are like, this sounds imaginary. We are not used to this, and that is evidenced by all the frozen pipes and leaking water issues. But several of our local counties and cities are experiencing this. We've got the phone numbers for Edgefield County, City of Aiken, McDuffie County. We're going to put all of those there on your screen. And if you're having any issue with low pressure or leaks, give those numbers a call. Edgefield County Water and Sewer Authority, they're asking you to limit your water use for now. The City of Aiken Water Service, they're asking you to report any leaks to the water treatment plant as soon as you can. City of Thompson and McDuffie County say they're monitoring recent water outages and issues. So a real headache across the two-state today. Meanwhile, Dominion Energy is asking South Carolina customers to watch how much electricity you use for now. The electric company says it's currently experiencing high demand to the electric grid. So here's some ways you can reduce your energy use. Set those thermostats to 68 degrees. Turn off any non-essential lights. So if you got those Christmas lights still running, turn those off. They need the energy, they need the power. You can unplug non-essential appliances or devices you're not using. Also, limit the use of equipment like dishwashers, washers, and dryers. And this is just temporary. This is while we're in these hard freeze temperatures and everyone's trying to run their heaters and tap into that power grid. Want to show you some crazy video out of Buckhead. This is right near Atlanta. Water pouring into an apartment hallway after a pipe burst, similar to some of the issues we've seen locally, but so many headaches. Georgia officials asking you not to call 911 if you're having issues with your pipes. If something like this happens, we have information on who to contact depending on what part of the CSRA you live in, and make sure you turn off the water at your house. Turn off your main water source. But we have all that information on our website. You can also call 311. Operators can patch you through to the right person or department, but do not tie up the 911 lines. They really can't do much to help you. Grovetown and I-20, taking a look out there, another cold night. It just feels cold. I've been trying to see how long I can stay inside, Riley. I've been hibernating, but for the people dealing with these frozen pipe issues, tonight's weather's really not going to help thaw them out very much.
Yeah, this has been a historic stretch of very cold temperatures across the river region. Going back to this weekend, we were in the top 3 for coldest low and high temperatures, both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We've actually had 4 mornings in a row now, temperatures well below 20 degrees. We got all the way down to 12 degrees early this morning at Bushfield. And once those low temperatures are below 20, that's when we really have to worry about these pipes bursting. So the good news is heading into the rest of the week, our low temperatures actually do look to stay above 20 degrees. So hopefully we see less and less of those issues as we do continue into the week. But we are already down to freezing at Bushfield, currently 32 degrees just outside the city limits. Not too far away in Aiken at 39, Evansville at 39 as well. And for low temps tonight, it is going to be frigid again. We'll most likely bottom out at least into the mid-20s for most of the area. But we are tracking a clipper system that's actually bringing some snowfall across North Georgia and northern Alabama. And I haven't mentioned this too much today, but I will not rule out that maybe there are a few snowflakes found in our northern counties as we do head towards around midnight tonight. Doesn't look like it's going to be an issue as far as any impacts from those flurries, and unfortunately it does look to stay mainly north of Augusta as we head into late tonight. This is bringing us cloud cover though, and that's going to help us stay at least above 20 degrees. Dry weather for tonight into tomorrow. We'll have a look at some warmer temperatures later into the week in just about 10 minutes.
The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of a 50-year-old man who was hit by 2 cars. Happened last Wednesday on Deansbridge Road. Investigators say William Bell was hit by a car, then hit again by another one, which left the scene dragging his body. His body was later found early Thursday morning 7 miles away in a parking lot on Milledgeville Road at Deansbridge Road. The Aiken County coroner says a man was killed in a deadly stabbing this morning on Camel Street in New Ellington. The coroner says the victim is 32-year-old Kennard Thomas. He was found in a home and taken to the hospital where he later died. Right now, New Ellington police do not have information on a suspect, so if you have any information, if you know anything, call the New Ellington Police Department. This is all that remains after a deadly overnight house fire. The Aiken County coroner says it happened around 1:20 this morning on Wagner Road. We're told crews were responding to the fire after hearing there was a man inside. He was found in the back room and pronounced dead on the scene. Officials haven't released who he is, and we're not really sure what caused that fire yet. The Charles B. Webster Detention Center houses more than 1,000 inmates on any given day. We've gotten several calls and emails from family members about the conditions inmates are living in. This week, they're dealing with heating and water issues after a record cold weekend. News 12's Craig Allison dug into some of those complaints and talked with inmates to find out firsthand how bad it is.
It's making it hard for people to live in here, man. I mean, it's really making it hard for people to live.
On Christmas Eve, when record low temperatures hit the CSRA, inmate Brandon Johnson called News 12 from the Charles Webster Detention Center in a cry for help.
We haven't had hot water in over a month, and the air conditioner's been stuck on for over a month. It won't turn off. We told multiple officers about it, and there's nothing being done. It's freezing in here.
It's an issue Chief Deputy Patrick Clayton with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office warned News 12 about after the fiscal year 2023 budget passed. Despite having more than $1 million budget for next year, he said it is not enough to cover needed resources at the jail.
They really treat us like animals. They really don't care what they do to us.
It makes me feel like I'm less than an animal because my parents have a farm and they take care of their animals better than we're taking care of in here.
Inmates say they're trying to use styrofoam trays to block the AC vents, but say they're still short on blankets, sharing 4-person cells between 6 people, with some sleeping on the ground.
We've been in the same jumpsuits for 2 weeks. You know.
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
The food come cold. Like, it is freezing in here right now. I've been here 30 months, and since I've been here, the conditions have gotten worse.
In Augusta, Craig Allison, on your side.
So we reached out to the Richmond County Sheriff's Office last night, a little after 5 p.m. Obviously, it was Christmas Day, about these complaints. We received a response a little after 8 last night saying they would reach out to jail administration, and we're still waiting to hear back. They also told us they would be out of the office until Tuesday, so we will stay on that for you and keep you posted. Meanwhile, authorities are asking for help finding a missing teen out of Richmond County. Quasine Williams was last seen Thursday at 9:30 in the morning on Spruce Street at the M&M Scott Apartments. Williams was wearing a black hoodie that had green and yellow words saying Black History. He is also wearing black pants and boots. So if you know where he is, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. COVID cases and hospitalizations are on the rise again this holiday season. Here locally, doctors at AU Health say they're seeing an uptick in those COVID cases. You can see by the CDC transmission map, just about all of our local counties are red right now. That means high COVID spread. AU says they're also starting to see patients with both flu and COVID combined, and we asked them what they recommend when it comes to testing.
But it really is, how reliable are they? Some of these home tests, most of the ones that we use, really don't turn positive if there really is an infection until about, say, a day or two after symptoms develop.
Dr. MacArthur says even if you're vaccinated and you've gotten the latest booster, don't let your guard down. You can still, of course, get COVID. It just is more likely to keep you out of the hospital. He says the booster is also shown to wear off faster among those age 70 and up. For free COVID tests, you can head to this website, covid.gov/test. You just click the blue button to order those tests. You can also call the number on the website, 800-232-0233. Whether it's you giving or getting a gift, chances are there's at least one you're not too happy with. Coming up, how you can make a switch or get your money back after the holidays. Riley?
Well, morning temperatures will at least be above 20 degrees for the rest of the week, but still very cold at least through Thursday. Warming up this weekend, and we're talking the next chance for rain for New Year's. Have a look at that just after the break.
Time. Toyotathon is on at Milton Ruben Toyota.
Shopping for gifts to give your loved ones and unwrapping all the ones they gave you, well, that was the fun part. With pandemic-era policies, though, being shelved by many major retailers, returning those gifts will be the hard part. As our Sydney Hood shows us, some local shops are actually trying to make it easier for you to make those returns.
We just made it through the season of giving, now it's the season of returning. And for places like the Swank Company and Escape Outdoors where I'm at, today is less about what's going out, but rather about what's coming in. Maybe it's the wrong size.
It just didn't fit, so I'm going to Colorado next month and swapped it out for some warm clothes.
Just doing some after Christmas shopping, returning some wrong sizes and stuff.
Or simply not your style.
I'm returning something I really loved, but it didn't look good on me.
Whether it's the gift you give or receive, it can be a hit or miss.
I try to do my best, but sometimes it don't always work out.
Things didn't work out for a lot of people.
A lot of people, they get up on Christmas morning, they try on a pair of shoes, they try on a shirt, it just doesn't work out.
The window to return or exchange usually closes right after Christmas. But now,
we've extended it way beyond 2 weeks so they get an extra a week and a half to be able to do those returns and exchanges as needed.
On average, according to the National Retail Federation, most retailers expect 18% of merchandise sold during the holiday season to be returned. But stores like Escape Outdoors aren't worried.
It's definitely more of an inventory issue, trying to keep stuff on hand and not knowing what someone's going to bring in.
And what people bring in today,
Spending the Christmas money my grandma gave me,
is a win-win for both the store and the shopper tomorrow.
I was actually expecting a lot of people to come in looking for returns or exchanges, but we've had a lot of people come in with, money that they've been given.
Again, before you head back to the stores, you want to be sure and check that return policy and have that receipt in your hand. Reporting in Martinez, Sydney Hood, on your side.
Okay, Sydney, thank you. Taking a look outside live over downtown Augusta on another chilly night, Riley.
It is going to be another very cold night, and we have just seen historic cold over the last several days. Just quickly going back to this past weekend, we actually got all the way down to 12 degrees Christmas Eve morning. That now goes in the second spot for coldest temperatures on Christmas Eve. Didn't quite make it to that 1983 record, but again this morning we got down to 12 at Busch Field. We did stay a good bit warmer inside 520 with Daniel Field staying in the low 20s, but many areas away from the city back between 12 to 16 degrees. The good news is, moving forward this week, our temperatures are gradually going to warm up. Now, it is still going to be very cold tonight, all the way through at least Thursday morning, to where we're still anticipating a hard freeze tonight, Wednesday night, and at least until Thursday morning. But as we head later to the week, our temperatures do start to bump up, and we're talking morning temperatures only into the 50s once we get into Saturday and Sunday for the New Year's Eve holiday and into our New Year's Day as well. Now, for tonight, we are bringing in just a very weak Clipper system. This has actually been producing some snowfall across North Georgia, North Alabama, and the National Weather Service in Atlanta is saying that a few light flurries are going to be possible, mainly outside of the CSRA. So starting around Oglethorpe, Elberton County, and all the way towards Atlanta. Highlighted in that bluish color you're seeing right there is where there is an alert that maybe we could see a few light flurries, but just not really going to be a major concern for us here locally. Not ruling out that maybe a few flakes could fly in our northern and western counties as we head into late tonight, but this is definitely not worth staying up for. We're generally just going to see a good bit of cloud cover from this tonight, which should help keep those temperatures warmer heading into tonight and early Tuesday. Still likely going to at least drop down to the mid-20s despite the clouds moving in late tonight. It is going to be a very cold start again on Tuesday. High temperatures tomorrow should be able to get close to 50 though. I think a lot of us will stay in the upper 40s, but would not rule out that a few spots do get a little bit warmer than that, and we should bring back plenty of sunshine Tuesday afternoon. Should be a nice day with those temperatures just gradually warming up as we head later into the week. We're going to hang on to dry weather at least through Friday. By Friday night to Saturday, that is going to be our next approaching area of low pressure. That is going to bring us very high rain chances. Both our long-range models are really showing a good bit of rainfall starting Saturday, and potentially some of that could linger into Sunday, but still some kind of timing differences on when this rain does eventually move out later into the weekend. But if you do have outdoor plans on Saturday, I would go ahead and have a plan B. It looks like those rain chances are going to be pretty high for us. But how about this? We're back into the 60s by Thursday afternoon, and potentially hitting the 70s by Sunday.
Columbia County, one of the fastest growing areas in Georgia, but it still doesn't have a designated downtown area. They're working on it. Coming up here from an investor who is working to change that.
The live
life comfortably. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is searching for 2 kidnapping suspects. They say these men, Thomas Maloyd and Tyreek McGee, both here on your screen, are wanted for a kidnapping on 3rd Avenue last Thursday. Anyone with information on the suspects or that kidnapping, you're asked to call the Sheriff's Office. Richmond County investigators also searching for this woman wanted in connection to a shooting. Happened last Thursday on Albemarle Drive. Deputies say Aaliyah Booker is wanted for aggravated assault, cruelty to children, and possession of a firearm. If you have any information, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Columbia County has worked for years to create a true downtown area right near Evanstown Center Park. With Stay Social Tap and Table closing its doors Friday, it's another blow to that area that just lost Buzzbull and Roll On In. Our Nick Veland talked with a developer who says there's still plenty of space and opportunity for that area.
Closed and empty storefronts line the front of the Evanstown Center. But in the back, behind the Performing Arts Center, construction continues for the Evans Society Center.
We're back on track, and weather pending, we're going to actually be completed February-March time period as we thought we would be.
Once the construction is finished, businesses like Goat Kick Coffee and Miran Asian Fusion are ready to move in. It's just a piece of the puzzle for the area to make this a downtown area for Evans.
We'd love this to be a nice pedestrian area where you can bring your family, friends, kids, and make it a family place in order to go shopping, have food, have other services, instead of having to go into Augusta or North Augusta. And that is what I thought this place needed.
Moving forward, he's not stopping here, looking to the open lot right next to his current project.
We're doing a feasibility study to determine whether or not a storefront there, a hotel, or a grocery store, etc., would actually add value to this area as well.
Bo Jeskel says he's already in talks with multiple companies if a hotel behind the Performing Arts Center is possible, and making sure it fits with the area as a whole.
And it'd be more of a boutique type hotel.
In Evans, Nick Veland on your side.
And Bo Jeskel tells us that if a hotel is feasible, they'll have to meet with the county to see if they're wanting to move forward with that. If If not, they'll be going back to the drawing board to see what could possibly be built on that part of land.
Well, temperatures are going to stay cold the next several days, but by this weekend, for our New Year's weekend, we are expecting temps in the 60s Saturday, then by the end of the weekend, hitting the 70s. Now look at that 7-day forecast just after the break.
From the News 12 family to yours, we're wishing you a happy holiday season.
Get your home ready furniture.
Well, not only did we have near record cold all the way through the weekend, we also had some very frigid wind chills, so it stayed very gusty with those very cold temperatures. Here's a look at our top wind chill reports from this weekend. Fell all the way down to -7 in Saluda, 6 below in Aiken. Even a number of spots here around Augusta, Evans, North Augusta, Grovetown, we're feeling below 0. Luckily, it does start to warm up for the rest of the week. Looking at our day planner tomorrow, we are going to wake up cold in the 20s in the afternoon into the mid to upper 40s, and then we should finally start to see the 50s again as we head into Wednesday, especially by Thursday with high temperatures likely hitting the low 60s. Now, looking ahead to the weekend, it is New Year's Eve Saturday, New Year's Day on Sunday. That's going to be our next chance of rain. Rain chances currently look highest on Saturday, tapering off during the day on Sunday. So if you're trying to pick one of the 2 weekend days that looks a little bit drier, I would go with Sunday.
Okay, another cold night, so bundle up if you're trying to stay warm. We've got more News 12 coming up for you tonight at 11.
Forecast in just about 10 minutes.
Okay, thanks, Riley. In Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp announcing that he's extending the state of emergency because of the winter weather we're seeing. So that will now be in place until tomorrow around midnight. Homeowners, meanwhile, are trying to find the parts they need to fix all of those busted and frozen pipes here at home. Our Hallie Turner found a lot of frustrated people looking for quick fixes tonight.
Frozen pipes, no water, leaking pipes, and busted wells make for thousands of dollars worth of damage across the two-state tonight. A lot of people tell me they took all precautions, but it just wasn't enough. Brian Yohe with Yohe Plumbing, Heating, and Air says his phone's been ringing off the hook.
45, primarily Saturday was the main day.
45 calls in a day, and he's afraid that's just the tip of the iceberg as we start to thaw out.
The truth started coming out a little more Sundays, came out more today, Monday. As pipes start thawing, that's when people find out they're busted.
Frantic calls from people like Janelle Wyndham.
I did the precautions that everyone said. I had my faucets dripping. It just wasn't enough.
A new water well wasn't on her Christmas list this year until the freezing temps hit her South Carolina home Friday night.
Daughter went to go take a shower around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and she's like, "Mom, the water's not going on. What's going on?"
When she checked the well outside the next morning, she discovered the issue.
Out there, and I, got my blow dryer and ran the cord, and I was trying to heat the pipes. And as I looked closer into my well, I saw that it was cracked, and it was all filled with ice. So it completely burst.
Now she's on day 4 with no water.
Busted right now. I had no luck getting a plumber out here for the 3 days. Now it's day 4.
And she's not alone. This is the plumbing aisle at Lowe's on Peach Orchard Road earlier today. Everyone's searching for the same quick fixes.
They were out of the lamps. I went to Home Depot. I went to Walmart. Everybody, as a matter of fact, I saw one man at Walmart in the same aisle looking for the bulb, and then I saw him at Lowe's. Everyone was looking for the same things. Nobody had it.
So she's having to improvise and use her pool to flush her toilet.
There are 2, and then I have 3. I bought 6 altogether, and then here's my pots up here that I'm boiling the water, and I have a sink full of dishes because I can't wash them.
Plumbers tell me to be patient if you're dealing with the damage because they are working overtime and as fast as they can get to it. And like the plumber said earlier, they're getting up to 50 calls a day.
Just such a headache for so many people. And if your pipes do burst, first of all, cut off the source of water to the pipe, which may mean cutting off the water to your whole house. If it's just a hot water pipe, you can cut it off from your water heater so you can at least have cold water in your house until someone can come out to fix it. Don't call 911 though. There is nothing they can do. It ties up those emergency lines. Call a plumber as soon as you can. Try to clean up any standing water. And of course, the best way to handle a burst pipe is to prevent it in the first place.
Suggestion is once nighttime comes around is to leave the water not dripping, but a very slight small stream. And if you can get close to where your hose bibs are, say a faucet close to there, that's the one you want to keep open.
They also say you can open your cabinets underneath your sink to let the warm air from your house help keep the pipes warm. If you live in the city of Wadley in Jefferson County, you're under